if you're originating in 2025, then what you better do is raise your game. The days of people throwing deals at you are over.
You don't have the ability to change in any business right now. You probably shouldn't be in the business you're in.
People have always had to adapt. How long have you been adapting, Jeff?
36 years, 37 years.
I'm on this podcast with man.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Laugh Underneath the Podcast. And we are getting ready for season 7, man. This music, I don't know what's going on with this stuff. See, this is what happens when I produce the show by myself. So I need John Perry here. Where is Mr. John? There you go. All right, we got the music going. I like this new track, man. I like this. This is like,
I was just headbanging to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Can you hear it?
Yeah, it's good.
What? Oh, no. I'm hearing like you can hear these lyrics like "Call me in the middle of the night when I'm dead" or something. Welcome to the show, guys. This is what we do around here. This is fun city. You know, if I ever put a band back together again, I might call it Fun City.
Wait, were you in a band? I didn't.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
There's so much. You're like an onion. There's so many layers, Fobby, and it's just they're all sweet. You know.
I like to call it a banana split.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I get the banana split. There's multiple layers to that, and it's
I'm
all
more of an ice cream. Although I do love onions, I have to admit, I actually eat raw onions like no problem. Yeah, I don't
want to put on record that I do as well, but you did, so I guess it's a safe space to do that, right?
That's why the show is called Laugh, Lend, and Eat.
That's true.
We laugh, we lend, and then we eat. So if you're going to eat raw onions or a banana split, or if you want to have a onion on top of your banana split, you're more than welcome to.
That might be a stretch, bud. But you know, hey, try new things, right?
There was a restaurant in San Francisco called Garlic, and everything was garlic. Like appetizers, main dishes, desserts, garlic.
I could do that. You roast it?
I did not go in there, but I wanted to. But my kids were younger back in those days, so I didn't think that their palate was ready to experience that kind of stuff.
Got to start young, Bobby.
To our viewers and our listeners, we have the one and the only, coming straight off Las Vegas Strip.
Yep. Mr.
Sammy Davis Jr.
I saw him. Did you see the picture with Sammy Davis?
I did not see the picture of you and Sammy Davis. So, here. Mr. Matthew Gallant from the MBA himself.
Fobby.
How are you?
Oh, buddy. I'm on 28 hours since I slept last, really. You know, but I wanted to do this with you. Hot off the press NBA, right? Like you can't get any more fresh from NBA.
I tried to get James Kleiman to come on here. Because he does our news for us.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he was on his way to Nashville to go do AIM.
Yeah. Yeah. I hung out with him, not you know, I love James, you know, and I
but you know that you're part of the reason that James and I actually connected.
Really? Oh,
I don't remember when it was or how it was, but he had posted something or I had posted something and people started commenting or I can't remember.
Yeah.
And you said, James, do you know Fobby?
Oh.
And he goes, I don't. And he goes, you really need to get to know him.
That's right.
And then he reached out to me and then we started talking. And well, I'll just give you an idea of how far James has come in my life. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. There it is.
Please tell me that's real. Is that AI or is that real? I need to know.
That
is amazing, Bobby.
So the first time we played that for him, he was absolutely he was like, what the fuck?
I can just see his face right now. Are you kidding me? That is coming off of let me use this phrase I used way too much this week. That is iconic.
Yeah.
That is iconic.
Our goal is to always come with a different AI for him whenever he comes on the show to have something different, like something different that's just because he's such a straight news guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he has no opinions. It's just this is the news. This is what the scoop is.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
Here's
I met
another
at the
one. Here, check
secondary
this one out. Check this one out.
for
Here,
the
ready?
first
Watch
time.
this
I've
one.
been following him for years, right?
Yeah.
I walked up to him. I found out he was going to be at secondary in New York. And I walked up to him. I said, Mr. Kleiman, I just want to let you know, I respect what you do. I respect the news you put out, right? Because it's not opinions, and I like that. It's real news. It's always good. It's always good to get some real stories without a bunch of bias in it.
Yeah.
I said, I just had to meet you, and I wanted to shake your hand, and I've been stalking him ever since. I mean, we've been friends, just kidding, ever since. And he, I saw he hung out at the NBA booth a lot this week.
Here, check this out. Check this one out. Watch. Here's another one. James in DC.
I love it. You need a Vegas edition with
You know
him,
what?
Vegas dancers, like like the old like. I
Say
don't
no
know.
more. Say no more. I'm going to do one of him in Vegas and one in Nashville. That's next.
You got to write "Love Matt" on it, because that's that way he knows that I tortured him with that idea.
We'll have it in the neon lights behind him.
I love it.
Trust me, it's done.
I love it, Fobby.
This is what we do on Laugh, Learn, and Eat. We don't actually do any podcasting. We just embarrass people.
That's fine, right?
Yeah, this is what
People
we do.
watch. It's it's news.
So look, you are part of the MBA, and the MBA stands for Mortgage Bankers Association.
Yep.
And they are basically our mortar that holds all of us together that are part of a mortgage banking society. So that does not include mortgage brokers, right? As of now.
Actually,
Yes or no?
it does.
Okay.
You actually just got a copy of my most recent newsletter, because you're Annie Mac's one of my clients. You're a friend of mine, so I added you to my new newsletter. It's not really new. I've been doing it for a little bit, but it's a new version out. But no, we do brokers. I mean, we touch. If you're in the housing finance industry, there is a place for you at the MBA. Now, do we create specialized content for brokers like an Aimwood or no, because we don't have that many of them, but I have brokers in my portfolio. Like I was working with them on renewal just a couple of weeks ago. So you can
brokers are so let's go down this road for a second. Once again, obviously, Matt, you know me, this is a very unscripted life and an unscripted show, right?
Right.
Brokers seem to be in a very unusual position recently, because they're a couple of the main players, UWM, is really pushing a non-delegated platform all of a sudden, or mini correspondent, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, right? But it's kind of like, hey, stop being a broker.
Yeah, which is
right.
Interesting.
Yeah, we have a warehouse line for you now.
Yeah,
and then we have Nexa. That was a huge proponent of brokers.
Yep.
They're now changing to Nexa Lending, I think, and doing more correspondent. And then you have the other company, U Mortgage, that has basically been a correspondent lender as far as I know. And so it's interesting to see them here, where the one-time like anthem of brokers are better. I mean, I never was a big fan of it, but it doesn't seem to have the same effect as it did a while ago. Am I right, or am I just speaking out of my ass?
No, I mean, personal opinion, right? Not an official MBA stance on anything, of course. But I think, coming from the worlds I've worked in, let me just I was at a credit union. I was at a community bank for a long time as a VP of lending. I worked for New Hampshire Housing as the director of strategic engagement. And I worked with every single type of lender, broker, IMB, community bank. You get the picture. I truly believe, Fobby, that there's a place for every channel of business in this industry. And I think brokers will always have a place. I never liked the brokers is better slogan personally. Yeah. I didn't like it. I never thought that brokers were better at everything. There are things just indicative of the type of business, the channel of business that brokers can be better at, right? Than a community bank. When you're starting to look at the oversights and you start to look at the compliance factors and how banks and credit unions have to operate just because of their oversight. So there are some ways they can do things more expediently than others. They can be nimble, right? But that doesn't necessarily make them better. So I never liked that. I'm glad that's going away if it is, to be quite frank with you.
Yeah,
Because
I don't know if it is or it isn't, but I don't know.
I think it's just a sign of the times, Fobby. You know, you got a lot of M&As happening. You have a lot of people that are looking to expand their touch points and grow their business.
James Kleiman is not here. I think the biggest news that I saw was that Tammy Richards is now over at Nexa. So Tammy was the president of Kind Lending.
Yep.
And I saw this recent announcement on LinkedIn maybe a day or two ago that showed her as maybe chief strategy or chief production officer at Nexa now.
It's a good move for her.
The funny thing is I was with her at the Housing Wire AI Summit in Dallas a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Having a great conversation because she wants to use Simple as far as her recruiting platform goes.
Makes sense.
And I saw Mike Cortez over there also. And I was like, I wonder if this deal was going down behind the scenes. You know what I mean? While the rest of us were eating barbecue. Like we're so busy eating the Texas barbecue, and there's a huge deal going on, and nobody ever sees it.
Fobby with a brisket, bone-in brisket.
I mean, that's my life story right there. You know what I mean? Like the deal of the century is going down, and I'm more focused on the coleslaw.
Oh, same. I mean, sorry, it's food, dude. Especially when you're at a conference, you're always hungry. There's never enough food anywhere, you know.
When you're in Texas, I mean, and you get the opportunity to get the Texas barbecue. I'm a huge Texas barbecue fan.
Oh, dude, I'm a
and no offense to North Carolina or Kansas, but Texas.
North Carolina barbecue. There, I'll say this because I have family there. It's a ripoff of Texas barbecue. I'm not a fan of North Carolina barbecue.
Yeah, man, I hear you. So let's get back to this. So
yeah.
MBA.
Yep.
And you and I were talking in New Jersey.
Yep.
And I said something to you that rattled your cage.
Yeah. Well, I was new, right, at MBA. So it took me a little bit. Do you want me to say it or do you want to say it?
I can't even remember what I said to you, but I know it rattled your cage.
That's the Jersey. And that's what happens in Jersey. You said to me, we were talking and I said, Fobby, I really want to meet Gabe. Like, I want to get to know Gabe. I'm new to the MBA. And I'm trying to.
People don't know who Gabe is. Gabe Gallant is the president of the New Jersey MBA.
Yeah.
And he's also my boss here at AnyMac.
Right. So, you and I had talked. We had started to get to know each other a little bit. So I was like, get me in here, Fobby. Get me in. Trying to do a Jersey mob deal, right? And you said, why MBA? Like, why should anybody be part of the MBA? And it was And I've told you since then, I'm very thankful that you asked me that question because I was new and I was still trying to formulate my own reason, right? Like why MBA? And I think the MBA does a great job of explaining what they do and what they're doing for the industry. But as somebody who's representing the MBA, I had to really think about like, why should a IMB or a broker or a community bank or credit union join the MBA? And I think it comes down to there's a lot to it. And there's no one simple answer of why the MBA. I think if you were to have
to me, if I'm in an elevator with you, right, and the elevator pitch comes in, right? Yeah. I mean, this is what it comes down to, right, in life.
Yeah.
Because our attention span in this current age is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. I mean, you used to have 17 seconds when I got in the business to make your pitch.
Yeah.
I think it's down to 9 seconds as of now.
Yeah. My most recent one is how often are you in the room with the federal legislators and regulators, and how often are you negotiating those deals, and do you feel comfortable doing that, or do you feel comfortable?
That's great. Here's my pushback on that, right?
Yeah,
when we're in the rooms with these legislators and these decision makers that are creating policy, like, are we really having an impact, or is it the MBA as a whole that they get to see the different faces and the different people that the MBA represents?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's I would go with the latter, right? It's the whole.
And that's the point, right? You can't do it alone. One voice advocating can do a lot. I've seen it firsthand, right? But when you have a collective, like look at Mortgage Action Alliance, right? That our grassroots advocacy network. Look at the people that we're connected to in Washington, because we've curated a reputation, right? We've curated a history of advocating on behalf of the consumer and the industry, and that's a very important aspect to it. And we are a collective stronger, right? Everybody, if you're a mortgage lender or you're in housing finance with us, commercial, broker, IMB, you have benefited from the MBA doing what we do. It's quite simple.
Wow.
Trigger leads. There's a lot. I mean, it's controversial to a degree, and I'm not going to get too deep into it.
No, real quick. But everyone seems to be taking credit for the trigger leads.
Yeah, well, a lot of people should take credit for it, Fobby, because
different coalitions seem to be taking credit for it.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking like NAM, AIM?
I'm not going to mention any names because I'm just saying, like, you can mention their names, but I'm not going to say anything. But I'm just saying a lot of people seem to be taking credit for that.
Yeah.
Is there any one organization that says this is really, or no? It's collective again, right?
It's collective, because if you look at the press release, I'm 99% sure I'm not talking out my butt here. I could say ass on this one. Maybe NBA won't like that, but is that if you look at our press release, we championed the other partners that we worked with to get this done. Like, we're not going to say we're the ones who did it all by ourselves, because I think that's illogical and people know that's not true. But we've always celebrated the successes because again, we're better together, right? And I think, it's who is it? Greg Shearer that has the all of us slogan, hashtag all of us. I like that slogan. I like all of us because my job here is to be a connector, right? It's to make connections, facilitate engagement between people. And I think that an all of us mentality, is required to do anything.
So your job is not to go to Vegas and take pictures and selfies and show us where the breakfast bar is or whatever.
That's kind of my job. That's engagement, Fobby. Do you know how many people? This is so funny. I
love your video, by the way. You understand. I actually watched your entire video of people are coming to us to ask about where the breakout sessions, and you actually took it down the hall to the breakout session. I was like, wow. Thank God I'm not there, because now I know what exactly I'm not missing.
Oh, Fobby. No, let me tell you.
I just got anxiety just watching the video. I was like, oh no, here's my conference feeling.
It was a 2-minute walk, Fobby. No,
just seeing the people and the booths, man. I get anxiety with that. I got to work on that with my therapist for next year.
I will tell you, we had officially over almost 4,000, well over 3,700, but almost 4,000 people come. Yeah. We had a lot of same day registrations, like people showing up to come to the conference.
Yeah. I think the last conference I did was Nashville, and I was speaking at the Progress in Lending thing. And I think after that, I just lost my my desire to go back to these conferences. I don't know what it was.
Oh, you're missing out, buddy. See, especially you of all people, you are an engaged person. You're connected, and I don't know. I could see a lot. I could see you getting a lot of benefit, and maybe not like sitting on the conference floor all day. But just being in the atmosphere, there was an energy, and I watched.
This was probably a good positive energy this year. Cause I think what happened. So here's probably what happened: is Nashville was 2022, and it was a very negative energy that year.
Mm-hmm.
We were going into that down cycle.
Yep.
And I think that's what kind of resonated all around Nashville. And look, I love the listeners of our podcast, because they always text me and. Like, you suck, Fob. Nashville was great. I get it. Maybe for some people it was great. I don't know. But there was a lot of people who came back to Nashville, and I remember specifically talking to a few of my good friends from different agencies and different companies and so on, and everyone said, that was a pretty down MBA.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing positive in 2022.
I was a lender then. I was running a sales team, and I can imagine, I wasn't there, but I can imagine remembering 2022. Yeah. I wasn't very positive about that year. So I can imagine that was the feeling going around. But
so maybe that's what affected me, and I didn't come back. Like, okay, let's just throw on the side. Where is it gonna be next year? Where's the MBA? Do you know where the next year MBA is?
Chicago.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. In October, huh?
In October. Yeah.
Just a little chilly. Just a
No,
little.
no. Well, Fobby, I'm from New Hampshire. It's 30
Yeah. Oh,
degrees
you're
out
fine.
right
You're
now.
fine. Yeah,
So
you'll be fine.
I'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Give
you
me
know
a
what? You and
chance.
I will plan. We'll plan my trip for Chicago next season. I promise to you, Matthew, on this show, that I will be at the NBA in Chicago.
Let's work on something engaging together. Let's do something
Yeah, let's
together
do
at
it.
the conference.
Whatever you need me to do, man. I'm always 100%. You know me, man.
Hey.
I never say no. So speaking of that,
Yep.
never saying no. Networking.
Yeah.
Woohoo, Matthew.
We had a good time.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I think we need a drum roll for this. Where's a real good drum roll? I need like a real good. Here we go. Well, these are bongos. Well, here you go. How's this? Let's see if this works. Matthew, you are the winner of a Amazon best-selling author.
Yeah. How cool is that, dude?
Like that, man?
I love it. We need a guitar riff for that, though. Like instead of a drum roll next time.
I got this. How's this? Like the train's coming. The name is Matthew Gallant.
Ooh, am I full of hot air? Well, that's true. So no, I'm just kidding. No, dude, rethink everything you know about networking, right?
Yeah, that was huge.
Dude, let me tell you, it was everywhere at MBA Annual.
Wow.
Everywhere. They sold tons of books. Like we sold tons of books there. I will say this. Let me plug one thing about MBA real quick, then we'll get back to the book because it involves the book.
Sure.
When they found out that I was part of this book, this speaks to the culture of the MBA. It's not about mortgage banking this time. It's not the green book, which like literally I have these books all over my house, Fobby. Like I own all of them. And it's not the green book, but they found out that I was in it. And
you have this book.
No, I don't have that one yet. You told me about Falling Forward though. I know. I got to get it. It's going to go on the shelf behind me. I promise. It's going to get read. Is it an ebook yet? Can I ebook it?
Can I be honest with you? I think you can get it for free now on Amazon if you just download your Kindle.
Oh, I'm doing it. It's my next plane ride book. So listen, though, the culture here, I speak to it often. I have never seen anything like it in my entire life. They rolled out everything they could do to be supportive. We brought Rethink Everything books into the bookstore. We had book signings. We had a special networking breakfast with the authors.
Wow.
They wanted to make sure that the good work that I was doing was supported, and I felt supported.
That's awesome.
Find that anywhere else, really.
I think more companies could learn from that also.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of companies that I don't think give as much credit to the effort it takes to put out a book or put out anything, quite honestly.
Yeah.
You know, and a friend of mine who got me on like who turned me into what's called the brand animal, right?
Yep.
Back in like it was a funny conversation, Matthew. It was about 2002 or 2003, and a buddy of mine like, "Hey, Fob, can I talk to you about branding?" But I had my own mortgage company back in those days. I was like, "Yeah, come on by the office, man." You know what I mean, and I thought he was gonna bring me like a catalog of like baseball caps and sweatshirts and stuff. I was like, I'll just buy something and help make Peter happy.
Right.
And I had no idea what branding was, right? I had no idea. And what he said later on, when actually we had him on a podcast a couple of seasons ago, and he says sometimes the brand of the individual is greater than the company.
Sometimes.
And the company, what they need to do is to make their tent even bigger.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And to your point, I think the NBA is on track with that.
You know, not just on track. They're the train. They're the ones that whistle because they. You know, I've worked for companies that when you get the NBA train, baby. When I've worked for companies, Fobby, and I'm sure you have too. When you start getting recognition, what do, Fobby? They worry you're going to leave. They're going to get poached, and you're going to walk away because you get some better opportunity. Right. That's very pervasive in this industry.
Yeah,
it really is. That's why MLOs don't go to conferences because everyone's always afraid they're going to get scalped or get recruited out. And I think that is the most antiquated way of thinking.
But don't they get recruited at conferences?
I mean, do you do a lot of recruiting at conferences? And did you get all your big recruits at a conference, or is it from using simple and building a platform and focusing on, building people
I mean,
out?
look, I think there's always, it depends on the conference. So let's go back, reel
Yeah,
that back a few steps, right? At the MBA, we don't have a lot of loan officers showing up at the MBA conferences,
right.
unless you're going maybe the local ones, right? Maybe the local ones probably have more, like when I saw you in New Jersey. But I'd say, like if you go to Sales Mastery, if you go to Momentum, if you go to whatever, right? Yeah, there's gonna be loan officers there that you're gonna have conversations with over dinner, over cigars, over drinks, all sorts of different stuff.
Why wouldn't you? It's your job.
And you're not gonna recruit them, but you're gonna create that relationship. Maybe you saw each other on LinkedIn, and now you get to meet for the first time in person.
Yeah.
And so if I could do 14 appointments in 48 hours, that's a whole lot better than having to do 14 different appointments in 14 different days.
Oh, absolutely. And listen, I'm not like this like pie in the sky person who says that recruiting doesn't happen. But you know what the faster way to lose an employee is? To not support them in their endeavors.
100%.
Right? To not
Well
build
said.
them
Well said.
and to not provide education and experience and exposure.
And
Right.
quite honestly, this goes back to the conversation that you and I always end up on somehow or another, right? It's the mindset difference between scarcity and abundance,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Yep.
can live from scarcity and hide your loan officers in a closet that no one will ever take them, or you can create abundance and say, look, if you do leave, I hope you find something better and your life is even more successful than it is here.
Yeah.
And I think that energy flows through the culture of a company. But
Megan
let's get back to your book and your chapter. Now, your chapter, what was it about your chapter that made you draw yourself into that period of time or whatever? I mean, like, where did you see your writing coming in from?
I mean, I have been an educator, a facilitator of education and knowledge for a long time, whether it's homebuyer classes, sales trainings. It goes back decades. My personality lends well to being a trainer, but I enjoy it thoroughly. And I figured out early on in my lending career that I could use education to build a following, to build a network, and build my brand. Quite frankly, I've had a firm belief that if you're an educator, you're a facilitator of knowledge, that you are seen as the authority. And I don't mean like government authority, but you're the authority figure of knowledge. Do you know Greg Korn by any chance? My buddy Greg Korn from MGIC. All right, I'm going to introduce you to Greg because you would love him. He really helped me open my eyes on this years ago. And I was doing it, but he really helped me like explain it, theorize it, or come up with a philosophy around it, where he would go into a bank, right? He's MGIC rep, should be talking about insurance, right? You think, PMI and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Not once did he mention insurance. Not once. He taught a communications class, a networking class. He taught a get to know yourself class. But you know what it did? When I had a question about insurance, I called him because he was the authority. He was the educator, and I knew he freely gave knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's what my chapter is about, is to grow your gravity, right? Go from pursuit, which networking has always been an active pursuit. And a lot of the other chapters are an active pursuit. Mine is an active gravity. Don't go pursuing everybody. Have them pursue you, because when they're pursuing you, you're going to attract the right people to you, and you're not going to waste time.
Let me ask you something, because this is interesting. Because I just finished my third book. It's going through all the little things that it goes through now, right?
Yep.
My first book took 3 years to write, and my writing style changed from the beginning to the end. Like I could see I even told the editor, like I don't even know who's writing at the end there. Did you notice that your story, like from what your original idea was to what you actually gave to Lindsay and Liz, like had it morphed a little bit? Had it modified? It
had to. So
yeah.
So I got on the chapter when we did our the housing wire. What was that? We did the little like the anti-housing wire because we weren't there.
Yeah, the FOMO for the gathering.
Yeah. The not so gathered support group, Fobby.
Yeah, I remember that with Kyle Draper.
And they mentioned a networking book, and I said, please tell me you have somebody who does networking through education. And they didn't. Nobody had really even heard of the concept. And I just sound stupid to say because they probably have. I'm not like Donald Trumping this where I'm the greatest ideas out there, right? I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is that they had not heard of it or even the philosophy. So I wrote my idea, I submitted it over, and they're like, hey, we have a different idea. Can you tie in everybody's chapter into a core philosophy and a thought, and then write your piece about how to leverage networking? So mine was going to be the philosophy of using education. They wanted me to make it an instruction manual, and it is brilliant, but it was very hard because it was take everything you've learned and evolve yourself by now teaching networking. This book gave you 20 something ideas and philosophies and tips and tricks on networking, right? Or more, hundreds, but really 26 chapters. Take those chapters and turn them into an education class so that you can network through education.
Yeah. No,
it was
hard to connect. It was basic. What I loved about the book for me, right, was it was genuine experiences of people going through life and showing you that networking is not easy.
No.
Like the greatest networkers we see in the conference areas, you know what I mean? That are like shaking hands and laughing and and they put up the pictures on social media and you're like, oh my God, I wanted to be there. It's so amazing or whatever, right? Like they're having struggles inside, but they're doing what they have to do.
Yeah.
And I think that was the most interesting part about the book for me.
Yeah, I agree. I've read it. I've read the whole thing 3 times now because I helped him edit and review and do final reviews. And I also had to read all the chapters so I could tie it back to my chapter and get the philosophies of everybody and try to like tie them in. So it was interesting.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I asked Lindsay and Liz this when they were on the show a few weeks ago, right? Like, what chapter did you feel most drawn to?
Honestly, Jake Vermillion's chapter.
Okay.
I think, he talks similar to me, right? When you're talking about the active pursuit and how you're going to go about, how you should and shouldn't go about about networking. I thought he did a great job theorizing and discussing his points on that. LaDonna Lockard's chapter I thought was well written. I liked hers a lot. Jen Peachman's chapter, I hate to say it, I kind of pulled something from everybody. Like I felt aligned with a lot of them, not all of them. I'm not pie in the sky. Everything's perfect. I think they all did a great job. But if you're asking resonate, there was a few, honestly, like there was a few. And I thought Jake's was good. I think he did a good job with it. I liked Alex. I can never say Alex's last name, but he's the chapter before me, if it helps. I thought his was well written. I think people put a lot of honesty into this one, Fobby. I'm not saying the other Rethink books weren't, but I think the people that were in this book really authentically tried to help others. And I think that's going to resonate. I think that's going to resonate.
Yeah, I felt that 100%. Last question about this book, then we'll move on.
Yeah.
How do you think you've evolved because of your involvement in this book? Like I feel like you go into a book as one person, you come out of the book as another person.
I will tell you, right in this chapter, I wish I had written it differently now. In retrospect, I wish I had written some pieces of it different, but here nor there. I've learned that that I authentically meant my chapter as a way to move forward. I've developed that out even more. I've written into new trainings, new seminars, new talks and speeches that are evolving that theory of grow your gravity. And I feel like I don't have any imposter syndrome around it. And for somebody who generally has imposter syndrome about everything, because I'm always trying so many new things, I felt like this is a true version that I know I can back up. Like I know is me. And I put out some authentic Matt into it, which I thought, which I like. So, but how did I grow? I got to meet a lot of new cool people. Right. I I get to have a lot of conversations, philosophical, theoretical, with people like you and I, and when we were in Chicago, we had great long conversation, like about a lot of different topics. You and I might not have ever had that conversation if it wasn't for getting together about this book.
Yeah. It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. One
Just-
last question. Do you got another book inside of you?
I already wrote one. It's coming out, I think, in January.
There it is.
I think I have I can't disclose it clause yet. But another great group of people. And I have a
What
feeling.
about just writing your own book though, like without the group?
That's coming. I already wrote the entire. I've wireframed it all out.
Okay.
I've been doing some sleuthing on LinkedIn and putting some polls out there. If you go back and look, you'll get an idea of what I'm going to talk about or what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pitch Mr. Draper. I'm going to pitch him and see if he wants to do it. And don't worry, Fobby, you're already one of the people that I'm going to ask to write a chapter in it.
Well, just like I always say, I never say no, right? That's my whole thing, man. It's like I just keep saying yes, and then it all keeps moving forward.
This chapter came from our conversation. This book idea came from our conversation. So I know you're going to be a perfect person for it. Yeah, Chicago Conversation.
Oh, wow, that's a deep ass book then, man. Because we were like going deep.
Deep. No, it's not that. It was like midway from the surface. So it's something that popped in my head.
That guy sold me a bad cigar too. Remember, I was really disappointed with my cigar. He hyped me up so much about that cigar.
That guy selling it was so passionate about the one that he sold you too.
I know. He's like, no, this is the one you need. You need. Yeah. I was like, oh, dude. I mean, honestly, you're a good guy.
Like a chicken bone.
I don't know, man. It was just, I remember when we were driving there, I was like, I'm not going to get sold a cigar by the owner.
Yep.
Because I know what happens. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I still got sold by the owner because it always happens. I'm always like that guy that says, yeah, why not? Why not?
I'll stick to my Romeo and Julieta and I'll enjoy that
smart man.
all day long.
Man. You did the right thing, man. All right, look, we're coming up at the end here.
Yep.
MBA. I want to end with this. I want to go back to the MBA. Your outlook on the MBA and the impact it has on the industry obviously is positive.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not asking you to speak on behalf of the MBA when I ask you this question. I'm asking you to speak as a member of the human race.
Yeah.
Which I believe you can do that, right? You have the ability to do that.
Some days.
Right? Is there a gap that the MBA is overlooking that an IMB really needs in October 2025?
That an IMB needs in 2025? I mean, I'm sure there is. Like, I'm sure we can't do everything, but I think we have our IMB advisory council, right? JP's on that. We have a couple others. We have, just like we have a commercial bank, just like we have a credit union and a community bank and a so on and so forth. Non-QM lending is blowing up. We're now supporting non-QM lending, or non-agency lending, as I like to call it. So if there was a gap, it's because it wasn't brought to our attention. Oh, and if IMB believes there's a gap, if an IMB out there believes there's a gap that we're not supporting, come to one of our meetings. Come to our committee meetings. If you're an IMB, you're welcome to come to the IMB monthly call. Highlight that gap. We want to know. And the truth is that, while we're representing the industry, we rely on the industry to share knowledge with us, to share those gaps. Because how do we work on your behalf if you don't tell us the behalf you need us to work on, right? So I'm sure there's a gap. Do you have one in mind, Fobby? Do you want to share one and we can make news?
I feel like I'm at the end of my career in the mortgage business. I really feel it. I can feel it. Really? And that might be 10 more years. I don't know, but I feel like I'm like where I just want to just like to put it this way. Like I just want to like coast. So I feel left alone.
Fobby.
I really feel that. I don't know how I can say that.
Well, it's because the last 10 years have been exhausting for everyone, Fobby. That's why.
They have been exhausting. And I feel like I've been, and a lot of people told me that I was overworking myself.
Yep.
I didn't want to believe it.
It's fair.
because I really enjoy what I do. You know,
I
and I love the people that I'm surrounded by. And I really mean that. You know, I mean,
yeah.
everywhere around me is very good people. And so maybe that's the reason where I'm content.
Yeah.
And so, but when I think there's one thing that I will say to you, Matthew, and I think this is something we can really end on here. Okay, look,
Sure.
I just wrote an article. It's in the Housing Wire. Came out last
Okay.
2 weeks ago. As an industry, we need to figure out how to rein in bad loan officers. I don't mean bad loan officers like bad humans. So please, I'm not judging anybody.
No, I get you.
People who have been at 15 different companies in 10 years,
Wow.
right? That's what the article was about.
Okay.
And as an industry, we keep hiring these people thinking that, oh, well, the culture at AnyMac's going to change them.
It won't.
Our rates are so much better at AnyMac that I can help them.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, I cannot help you. You have to figure out how to help yourself. So the question that I would ask, right? Like there is MMI, there is Ingenious, there is Redder. You know what I mean? That is giving us the data on mortgage loan officers. They're giving us the data on mortgage companies. Why don't we have a report card where we can tell the lender, look, before you hire this guy, this is what you need to know.
I'm sure.
I don't know if that's, but
That's your
that
recruiter's
would
job.
help me, man.
That's your recruiter's job.
Listen, just yesterday, true story.
Sorry.
We got the resume for somebody
Yeah.
that we turned down like 6 months ago or a year ago.
Yeah.
And they applied again to come back and try to join us again. Now, in that 12 months, they were on their third mortgage company.
Listen, like, how about this? Maybe we can do some training on smart hiring practices, Fobby. Maybe I can work with education and get some like smart hiring practices
there you go.
in the industry, because
that's why I love talking to people with a brain. See, because like, you guys take what my unfiltered brain is saying,
yeah,
and you guys make it to where it becomes a very policy driven manual.
Hire for success.
I don't have that ability.
Like, here's the thing. Okay, Matt talking, right? Cover up the MBA thing. Like, we won't.
No, I'm asking the icon. I'm asking the icon, Matt himself.
I stole that sign from the conference, by the way. I stole it. I wasn't supposed to. I stole it, and now they're gonna see this, and they're gonna be like, "You stole a sign." I'm like, "Yes, I did," and I told them I was gonna, and they didn't believe me. There it is. So, anyways,
probably like $35.
Perfectly placed above my head too. I didn't even plan that. This is amazing. Anyway,
of course, just
like
random luck. Random luck.
Random luck, Fobs. All right, so listen, Matt, the former sales leader, VP of lending, running teams of originators.
Yes.
Our industry has this let's throw numbers at it game where we just hire a bunch of people because loan officers are typically compensated on what? Commission, right?
Typically.
We're going to hire them. Maybe they'll be successful. Maybe they won't. If they're not successful, they'll weed themselves out. Am I wrong?
No, but
I don't think that's smart hiring. You're not hiring for the person. You're not hiring for the culture. You're not hiring. So if you're doing that,
I think this is my ask of the MBA then, right? And I hate to say it, but can't we talk about this in breakout sessions? Can't we create like a hiring breakout session where we talk about, hey guys, if you see somebody that's moved around 14 times in 10 years,
probably not a good MLO.
Probably not a good MLO.
And good
no matter what you
ethical, think. But they probably don't have what it takes to do this.
Listen, there was another one that I actually wrote the story about. Literally, because I was so pissed that day. And they do about 40 to 50, $60 million of volume a year.
And they just keep moving?
And they get paid $250,000, $300,000 every time they move.
Wow. It's an income stream. Is that person smart or stupid?
They're already making with the 40, 50 million. I mean, you're already making good money. It's not like you're making shit money.
Yeah. Well, with personal branding. So you want to go back to personal branding?
I don't know, man. If the MBA wants to help Fobby and there's a gap in there, there it is, Matt. That's my 2 cents for the NBA.
I'm going to work with David Uppen, and I'm going to get you some smart hiring, and you can train it. Why don't you train it?
I will do it.
Yeah,
whatever you want me to do around this topic, I'm all in.
Fobby, you and I'm going to tell David, I'll talk to David, and we're going to get a webinar for smart hiring tactics for 2026. You, me, pick another person, and I'll moderate.
Yeah, but you got to remember that I mean, when people start asking me questions, I get really like explicit sometimes, so it may not be the best thing for the
no
NBA.
swearing, but
not to swear.
We can be honest. We can be honest. That the one thing I will tell you, what I do appreciate about the NBA before we go, is that they don't. Whenever I've done something, they're not like, don't say this, do say this, don't say this. When we have people come on, we don't dictate what they say. Like they say what they're going to say, and they talk about what they want to talk about. We do let them know, like, please don't set any speak for us.
I think doing things on best hiring practices for loan officers, for salespeople, I think would be invaluable, because I have to believe, with as much. God, we've been talking about this forever. I have to believe that with as many people out there in the IMB industry that keep hiring these gangster loan officers, it's just, I mean, I'm just telling the truth, man, because I mean, I've gotten taken multiple times. And I think the last time I got took was like about almost, I think it cost me about $300,000.
Yeah.
And I've seen that particular group move around. They're on their second company in 12 months.
Well, people keep paying them.
That's it. And we've got to figure out how we can legally talk about this. Now, Greg Shear and I were talking about this one time, and we said, well, maybe if we're about to hire somebody, we'll check with our buddies.
Yeah.
But then nobody wants to talk crap about anybody because, oh my God, I might get sued.
Well, and then it doesn't look like I forget the name, what it's called for compensation, to talk about compensation, but I forget.
There's all these different things that turn into legal and HR and compliance and blah, blah, blah. But I think having a good hiring practice, at least the guardrails would come up, and that might save some money for the IMBs in 2026. There's got to be
somebody out there who trains this, has developed a class on hiring.
If nothing else, I feel better because I've now put it up in the I've written an article about it.
Yeah,
it's in Housing Wire.
It's in the ethos.
It's in the ethos. We're now talking about it here on Laugh, Learn, and Eat. I feel like I've done my job, if nothing else, right?
Yeah, you do your job, Fobby. You're not done yet, buddy. You're not done yet.
Yeah. I don't want to be this guy right here. See, this is the guy that I'm afraid of, right? This is what happens after you hire somebody, right? You hire somebody, it's been about, say, 90 days, right? And all of a sudden you look at the P&L. You're like, I did it again. My gut said don't do it. I did it.
Well, trust your gut, bud. Trust your gut. That's like taking a payday loan if you don't trust your gut, right?
Yeah, man. All right, dude. Well, look, Matthew, always fun talking with you, my brother. Always enjoy my time with Matthew Gallant.
I enjoy my time with you.
I want to get hold of you. How did they get hold of you, man?
Follow me on LinkedIn, connect, reach out, DM me. My cell phone number, Fobby, I think I'm one of the most publicly available people out there. My cell phone number is on LinkedIn. Call me, text me. Yeah. I'm always available for a conversation.
Where can they buy Rethink Everything You Know About Networking?
Buy that. There's QR codes to connect with me right in that book.
Okay, but where can they buy it?
Amazon.com, baby.
Amazon. All right.
Yeah.
Guys, get out there, support Matthew Gallant for everything that he's doing for you guys in the IMB world. You guys never get to see this guy talk, speak, whatever he does. Be part of it. By the way, do me a favor. I hate saying this to you guys, but please subscribe to our YouTube channel. They're telling me to ask for this. We're at almost 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. I don't know what all that means, but it means something to somebody in my group. I want to make everybody happy before the end of my life, right? That's what I'm all about. All right, Matthew, hang tight, and we're going to get out of here. What do you think about that? Is that a good idea?
Brother. Let's get it done.
All right, man. Let's go. Let's see. How did this work, man? Oh, here we go. See, this is why I need JP. Every time I do this on myself, it never works well. You ready, Matt? We're out of here. All right, but